Hey everyone, it's 2025, so it's time to see what new is coming out in the ADV world. Let's go over a few bikes, a few newcomers, and a few updates. If that interests you guys, stick around. All right everyone, it's 2025. We have a new year for adventure riding coming, so excited stuff happening. Let's go over what's new in the adventure world. New bikes are coming, some old bikes get updated. I want to go over this and just talk about what's out there, what's happening, where I think the manufacturer hit a mark and where they get it wrong. So let's get into this. All right guys, so before I start, I want to apologize. This video is going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to talk about 5 motorcycles, so it's a lot of new technology and not a lot of new updates that's coming out, and I'm going to try to make it as short as possible, but it's going to be a little bit. Also, I would like to apologize because I'll be reading off a paper here quite a bit. Since it's 5 motorcycles, some are brand new, some are just updates. I don't want to get anything mixed and got some notes. I'll be reading off here for a little bit, and then I'm going to put my opinion into this. All right guys, let's start with the Tenere 700. Everybody knows it, people love it, people hate it, but they updated it. So for the 2025 model, let's see what they have. They say they updated rally-inspired styling. Ooh. The new 2025 Tenere styling updates further accentuates its distinctive Dakar rally racing DNA with all new quad headlights, new side covers, tail section, color-matched handguards, and a flatter rally-inspired seat. So basically new plastics, they dress it up a little bit to make it look a little bit more different, a little bit more modern. I don't know if the quad LED headlight is really an update or not. It looks a little bit different, but so far we cannot say if it's really better or not. It's just different. It's just a facelift, let's put it that way. And then color match handguards and flatted rally-inspired seat. The seat I think is pretty flat from factory. I believe that this might be now a one-piece seat, if I remember well. I don't know if that's going to be. But anyways, this is the updated restyling of it. So next, new larger vertical TFT display. All new large 6.3 vertical TFT screen offers rich full color display along with 2 selected team provided with wide variety of vehicle smartphone information. Street team offers additional analog tachometer, while Explorer team offers more modern digital style. So this is quite interesting. I have the 2022 Tenere. I have the square old, they call it the Tetris or the Pac-Man looking dashboard, and honestly I love it. It's so easy to read, there's no distractions. I'm riding on pavement, off pavement. It just takes me a split second to look down and I know exactly all the information I want. Honestly, I personally don't care for color TFT. I think it's not really necessary. I do understand that so many people have been asking for that. They don't like that screen. And please in the comment, please somebody explain to me why is it so important to have a color TFT. I don't get it. It's not my phone, it's not my computer, it's nothing, I work with it. When I ride a motorcycle, I spend 99% of the time looking at the road and 1% looking at my screen. If it's color, black or white, I don't know, it makes no difference to me. I had the chance to ride the 24 model with the colored TFT, and honestly, I think that the older style is easier to read. Yes, the color is more beautiful, it just looks nicer, but I think that the old style is easier to read in a glimpse. So in the comments, let me know what you think about it. Am I nuts? Are other people nuts? Just let me know. All right, so the new Tenere, new switchgear and turn signal function. This is interesting. Yamaha's next generation switchgear features a joystick design with a bottom shape and feel extensively refined for provide intuitive operation and compact, easy to use solution. New turn signal functions further enhance the riding experience. Really, does it? A soft click of the indicator switch will flash the turn signals 3 times, while a full click will flash continuously. Turn signals also self-cancel after 15 seconds and once the bike has traveled for more than 500 feet. All right, so now we have a little joystick design, which is probably going to be more vulnerable to dust and water, so I have a feeling it might be a little bit of function problem down the road. But what I think is really crazy is It has a soft click and a hard click. Now you're riding adventure ride, you got all your gear on, you got your big gloves on and everything, and now you're trying to feel, you know, while riding, if it's a soft click or a hard click, I don't know. I think this is getting too finicky now, in my opinion. Turn signal self-cancel after 15 seconds, and once the bike has traveled more than 500 feet. Harley Davidson has been doing that, this self-canceling thing, for ages. It's kind of good and it's kind of bad. It's kind of good in the way that there are some riders that just forget to turn the turn signal off. You know, they just hit it and they take a turn, and then for the next 7 miles they just have the turn signals on. So you obviously would not have that. So that's the good part. The bad part is I also see riders that hit the turn signal way too soon. So they hit the turn signal, I don't know, 800 feet before they're going to take a turn. After 500 feet it turns off. Now, if the car behind him doesn't see it, now the guy suddenly is going to take a turn if he doesn't put the turn signal on again. I don't know. So next, advanced smartphone connectivity. I know that many people are going to love this. Expanding on the Tenere 700 smartphone connectivity capabilities, riders can now access music, make and receive phone calls, and access a range of additional features to the Yamaha's free White Connect app. Additionally, riders can also access full-screen turn-by-turn navigation through Google Maps. Connectivity functions are operated in an intuitive switchgear on a handlebar and display in the full color on the new TFT meter. All right, music, I don't know. I personally don't listen to music while I ride. I know many people do. I don't. I definitely not going to make a phone call. The motorcycle for me is an escape from everything. I'm not going to be texting, I'm not going to be making phone calls, none of that. When I get to a stop or somewhere, I check my phone. If there's a lost phone call, you know, I call back. What I find really interesting is the full screen turn-by-turn navigation. This, I think, is a really cool option. Yeah, I have a second smartphone permanently installed in my bike as a navigation system. You know, I see many people, they put in the Zumo, what's it called, the X10 or XC10 or whatever on there. So I find this is a really cool solution. It's probably just connect right to your phone, but you don't have the phone on your bike. It doesn't get wet, it doesn't get dirty, it doesn't get muddy, none of that. You don't need to spend money on another accessory to put on your bike. So I think this is actually pretty cool. So next comes, in my opinion, the biggest deal here. Yamaha's advanced chip-controlled throttle YZZT ride-by-wire system provide crisp, seamless throttle response and enable 2 new selectable throttle maps, Sport and Explorer. So riders can now dial in their preference power delivery. There's also a new selectable on-off traction control system to help minimize control in low traction conditions. All right, so you know the standard throttle is a pull and push wire. It's simple, it's mechanical, it's been working for 100 years. They usually last forever if you give them a drop of lube once a year. I mean, I had cables last me like 15 years, you know, just doing a once-a-year service on them. But Yamaha decided to go away from that and go to the throttle by wire. So now your throttle actuator has a sensor with wires, and now your butterfly and the intake has a big, heavy electric motor that turns. So we made it pretty complicated now. Why did they do that? Because they wanted to offer rider modes. And let me get into that. Rider modes are very useful on high-performance bike. If you have a Tenere, if you have a KTM, you know, 790, 890 of 100, 110 horsepower, and you go off pavement, yes, you want a rider mode. You want to dial that thing down. The Tenere doesn't have that. It still has the same 70 horsepower CP2 motor. And anybody that has ever ridden in a Tenere or an MT-07 will agree with me that that motor is so smooth, is so linear, is so predictable. It is unreal. That motorcycle will never do nothing that you don't want it to do. It is so smooth. I don't know why they would put rider modes in that. For me, this is an absolute waste of money. I know people are going to disagree with me, and I can already hear them clicking on the keyboards. No, we need rider modes, and you know, that's cool. If you think that you want rider modes, you know, if you're a tech geek and you just want to have a bunch of buttons and a bunch of things to do, that is fine. Does that bike really need it? Does it really gain anything from it? Absolutely not. We made the bike more complicated. We made it more expensive. We made it heavier because people don't understand all that stuff they're adding. You know, it adds weight, and 2-3 pounds here and there, you know, it adds up. And here comes the biggest downside to this. So we went to the throttle-by-wire, and we have rider modes now. But the one thing that every Tenere 700 rider wish their bike had, they skipped on that, and that's damn cruise control. Really, Yamaha? The one thing that everybody wants, the one thing all this would have made it worth, and we don't get it. Wow, they really dropped the ball on this one. I mean, at this point, you know, just charge $300 or $400 more bucks for the bike and give us cruise control. Come on. Not happy with that. All right, next, it has a revised KYB suspension. That's good. Adjustable front fork offers superb front end feel and shock absorbing characteristics, and now includes a preload adjuster located on the top of the fork tube. Yes, good deal. Everybody knows, everybody that rides the Yamaha Tenere 700 off-road knows that suspension is the soft link, it's the weak spot of this bike, so finally they're doing something there. Awesome, really like that. All right, they say they redesigned the air intake with a shorter intake duct, supplies improved torque and power delivery characteristics, and lower mid-range. Yeah, we know that. Most of the guys, they already take the whole snorkel out and cut the inner part out, and it gives a bit more torque, whatever, so they probably did that now from factory. I don't know if it's a big difference or not. I haven't done it yet, but anyways, that's what they did. And then they say enhanced ergonomic touches. A new clutch cover design offers improved legroom in both sitting and standing positions. New foot pegs are now wider and longer for more sure-footed feel, and a flatter rally-inspired one-piece seat design provides greater comfort while retaining the same overall height. So I'm really interested to see that clutch cover. When I got my Tenere, it's so strange. When you sit on it, one of your legs is literally touching the motor, and it's not really bad. It doesn't get hot. It's not uncomfortable. It's just strange because none-auto motorcycle really has that. So that's really kind of weird. I'm really curious to see how they fix that. If the clutch cover is just lower design, or is the clutch basket a little bit low? I don't know. Actually, that's pretty interesting. I highly doubt that the new rally-inspired one-piece seat is going to be greater than the one we have. I mean, hopefully it is, because, man, those seats are hard as a brick, but I doubt it. Hopefully they prove me wrong. And that's basically it. No, hold on. We have one more thing. It has a new ABS switch, so that's actually pretty cool, and I know many people are going to be excited about that. It has a switch now. Now you have ABS on, you have ABS off entirely, or you can turn off only the rear ABS and keep your front wheel on. I know many people have been asking for that. Newcomers to the off-road, you know, to the off-road game, they feel a little bit safer having a front ABS while they still be able to lock up the rear, you know, to slide or do a maneuver. So that's pretty cool. So overall, in conclusion, Yamaha, they listen to the customer, you know, they do updates, they put more stuff in that people have been asking for. I think that they hit some points pretty good, and they just missed some of them. I don't know, I'm really bummed that we put all that tech on there and no cruise control. I think that's really a big no-no. At this point, they have all the tech in it. I mean, how much more would it cost to give us cruise control and be done with it? But anyways, so this is what's new for the 2025 Yamaha Tenere 700. All right, guys, number 2 on my list is the new 2025 DR4S. Yes, the good old DRZ has been updated. So the DRZ is an amazing bike. I had 2 of them. There's a huge cult following about them. It is one of the most reliable bikes out there. It's a tank of a bike. It's a really great bike. It's a dual sport bike. Is it, in my opinion, the best adventure bike? For me personally, it's not. I see many people out there adventure riding on them, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. If you have one and you love it, you know, why not use it for it? Absolutely great. But the DRZ came out, I believe, 2000, and really has never been changed much. It was the DRZ, then the DRZ-E, that was electric start. Then the S, that was the street legal model, and then they had an SM, a supermoto version. But essentially after then, for the last 25 years, nothing has changed. I mean, essentially, the bike is a dinosaur. Nothing has changed until now. So let's dive into it and see what they did to it. All right, so according to the manufacturer, starting with an all-new twin-spur steel frame and aluminum subframe. I'm going to stop there. From my knowledge, they were always steel frame and always aluminum subframe, so I don't know what's new with that, but anyways. Suzuki engineers have crafted a chassis that enhances stability and handling across diverse terrains. At its heart, listen to that, a fully redesigned 398cc engine, 400cc, fully redesigned. We come back to that later. Now features electronic fuel injection and ride-by-wire throttle body, delivering a refined torque-filled performance. So I'm going to stop here. Fully redesigned. I looked at that on some schematics. They did redesign a bunch of it. It's not a brand new motor. It's a mostly new motor. And here is the big flaw with this. And man, I don't get it. The one thing DRZ owners have been asking and complaining about for the last 25 years was a sixth gear. It's a 5-speed transmission. Everybody wants a sixth gear. Guess what we didn't get for 25? A sixth gear. Why, Suzuki? The one thing, I mean, the one thing everybody wanted, the one thing that would make that bike so much better. You already said you fully redesigned the motor. Why did we not get a sixth gear? I cannot believe it. I don't get it. Wow, what a mess here. Ugh. And it doesn't get better. Stay with me. All right, electronic fuel injection, ride-by-wire throttle body. I have nothing against fuel injection. You know, it adds a bit more complexity to the bike, but I understand people don't want to tune carburetors, they don't want to service carburetors. So I get this part. You know, the bike will always start. It doesn't matter are that 20 degrees or 120 degrees. So this is the advantage of fuel injection. You know, you can ride up the mountains, 10,000 feet elevation, no remapping, no nothing. It always runs. That's perfect. But we're adding more stuff to the bike. You know, we're adding a fuel pump now that can fail. We're adding throttle position sensors that can fail. Throttle by wire, that means it has an electric motor and actuator for the butterflies. That's all weight, that's all stuff that makes it less reliable, you know. These things just can make a really bad day out in the woods. I had it to me, my Husky once, I broke the throttle position sensor and I was stuck. So a little tiny sensor and you're out of the game. Now you have to see how the hell you're going to get back home. But we're not done here. So there's a reason why we went to throttle by wire and all this stuff. And I'm going to get to this right now. Equipped with Suzuki Intelligent Ride System, SIRS, the DRZ put advanced riding seats at your fingertips with features like 3-level Suzuki Drive Mode selectors, SDMS, 4 more traction controls and switchable ABS. Riders can customize their ride. Wow, we're loading that thing with tech. We went from dinosaur to spaceship, from nothing to everything that we can find. This is nuts. All right, it has a 3-level Suzuki Drive Mode selector. These systems provide the rider with 3 different power modes that have tailored power output and power delivery. Are you messing with me, guys? 3 rider modes on the DRZ. I think that thing puts out like 38 horsepower. It's the most underwhelming dual sport bike ever. And we're going to give it 3 rider modes. What in the... Oh my God. What's wrong with these people? I don't get it. 3 modes for 38 horsepower. I mean, the Tenere, they gave him 2 modes for 70, he didn't need it. I mean, nobody ever has been complaining that the DRZ is overpowered, that they cannot handle it, that they wish this bike had rider modes. I'm lost of words here, guys. I don't even know what to say. All right, but it keeps coming. Suzuki Traction Control System, STCS, offers 4 levels of traction control. 1, 2, G, and off. G represents gravel mode as intended for on pavement surfaces. So now we have traction control. 4 modes for 38 horsepower. I mean, literally, it's like somebody went into the R&D compartment and said, open the catalog. It's like, give me one of everything. Let's put everything we can put in that bike. I mean, what a waste, honestly. You know, If Suzuki would have gone ahead and would have said, well, we're going to make it fuel injection, you know, make it a bit easier on that, and we put a 6th gear in it, I'm sure everybody would have been happy. That would have been more than enough to make the DRZ community happy. All this is just nuts. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. If you guys disagree, please type it in comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think that the DRZ should be loaded with all this crap or not? I want to hear from you guys. All right, let's keep going. The new LCD display offers essential ride information so you can monitor settings with ease, whatever navigating twist, roads, and technical trial. I really would like to see that display. One of the things I do going to give it, the old display, it was terrible to read. It was like that small, and it was a weird cluster. You know, sometimes you really had to move around your helmet to read it. That's one of the things that really me annoyed on it. I think I had a Vapor Trail tag at one point on mine that I can adjust that was more visible. So hopefully they improved on that. Next, in addition to the new features, fully adjustable KYB suspension for precise handling with new IRC tires for optimal grip. Nice. Adjustable suspension, that's always good. That's always been a little bit of the weak point of the bike. Yeah, not the suspension itself, but the adjustability of it. IRC tires, I personally don't like them that great. I know other people swear on them. You know, this is the tire question is the same, like, hey, what oil should I use? You know, there's no right and wrong here. What else we got? The 4S comes with off-road power, making the motorcycle suited for both road and trail. Sleek LED lighting, vibrant body colors, ergonomic touch to complete the package. Positioning the DR4S as Suzuki's latest benchmark in dual sport. So yeah, they updated, you know, the plastics, make it look a little bit more modern, and that there's nothing wrong with that. All right, so Suzuki's all-new DR4S, 4 liquid-cooled, single-cylinder engine with dual ignition, so nothing has changed, except dual ignition. It would be interesting to see what's that about. Still a 5-speed transmission. I already bitched about that. A slipper clutch. A slipper clutch. I see other bikes like the CRF 300 and 300 Rally have it. I don't know if it's really necessary. It's not a bad thing, but then it's still, you know, as claimed 68 horsepower at 6,000 RPM. I think they really missed the mark here with the 6th gear. I said before, I said it again, if Suzuki would have gone ahead and just say, hey, you know, we put new plastics on, fuel injection, 6th gear, you know, doing an LCD screen that's actually readable, everybody would have been happy. But anyways, so, well, you heard me rant. You know what my opinion is about this. I think Suzuki went absolutely down. This is just nuts, in my opinion. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Suzuki, they did a great job. Did they miss the mark? What do you think? Did they miss anything? Oh yeah, hold on, of course. I'm not done here. Now we have throttle by wire, but guess we have no cruise control either. So Suzuki people are not much better than Yamaha people. Anyways, let me know what you think. All right, guys, next on my list, I have the 2024 KTM's 390 Adventure. Tons of people have been waiting for that. So a lightweight adventure bike. So many people out there, they want to get into adventure riding. You know, they don't want to step on a 450, 550 pound motorcycle, totally understandable. Many people think that you need to have an adventure bike to go adventure riding. No, half the population out there does it with dual sports. You know, it's essentially no big deal. But KTM, you know, they always try to fill a need. So I think that's what they try to do here. Let's see, merging all-road visibility, improved reliability with real-world performance. The KTM 390 Adventure makes heading on an adventure an everyday possibility. Powered by a proven 373cc power plant coming out with 44 horsepower. All right, so we have a little bit less displacement than the DRZ, but we make, you know, a good bit amount more horsepower. And hold on, it has a 6-speed gearbox. No way. So KTM actually listens to the customer other than Suzuki. Wow, look at that. You know, if they can do it, why couldn't these guys do it? Unreal. Anyways, what else do we have? Yeah, 6-speed gearbox, class-leading chassis, and a 248-mile tank range, thanks to a 3.8 tank. That's not bad. You know, 250 miles on a tank. Not bad at all. There's nothing to complain about that. All right, it hits the road with purpose intent. What's more, adjustable 43mm WP Apex forks. All right, if you know suspension, if you know off-road suspension, the WP stuff is unbeatable. I don't care what you say. You can go Erlings or you can Showa or whatever. The WP stuff is phenomenal. I think that's why KTM has been in the game for so long, and fingers crossed that they stay in the game with everything that's going on their side. But man, that suspension is just, it's, in my opinion, it's unbeatable. You know, there's other good stuff out there, but WP stuff is really, really impressive out of the box. So, good deal here. All right, let's see what else. Okay, it has 19 and 17 heavy-duty tube spoke wheels. I mean, it's perfect suited on the trails too and for on-road. I'm gonna say, in my opinion, the 1970 combo is really more street-oriented. I have ridden a few bikes with 1917 off-road, and it's just not the same. Can you do it? Yes, absolutely, you can do it. It's no big deal. And I'm gonna say that this bike is probably focused for newcomers to the adventure game, so they're not gonna be hitting hard trails or log halving or none of that, so that's gonna be fine for them. I don't think there's nothing wrong here. So it says this motorcycle is designed and developed in Austria and assembled in India. So it is designed in Austria, it's assembled in India, but who makes the parts? Are they made in China by CF Moto? Is it an Indian corporation? Who makes the parts? That's something I could not find out. That's something I'd be interesting to know. So let's go real quick over the engine. Yeah, it has 6-speed transmission, which is great. We already talked about that. With an optional quick shifter, look at that. Liquid cooling, it claimed 44 horsepower, electric start, blah, 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 all good. Weight, without fuel, 350 pounds. So this is something that always gets me. I don't get why manufacturer put the dry weight in their advertisement. I mean, I know why they do it, but it's just so stupid. It's like, well, the dry weight is 350 pounds. Yeah, but we don't care. You and I, the consumer, don't care about the dry weight, because we need to put oil in it, we need to put coolant in it, we need to put gas in it. How much does a sucker weigh when it's filled up? I don't care how much it weighs when you transport it in a crate. But anyways, that's what they give in their website. Wheelbase is 1430mm, ABS Bosch, cornering ABS and off-road mode, disengageable, pretty cool. Front and rear brake discs, yeah, and the 3.8 gallon fuel tank. So, you know, in traditional KTM style, you know, all the good stuff that they have been developing forever, that they know that works, you know, like the Bosch stuff for ABS. Nothing to complain here. Hopefully KTM stays in business, and hopefully many people buy this bike and enjoy it. So yeah, KTM, I'm going to give you guys a thumbs up. Well done. All right, so the next bike is a concept bike. I love concept bikes. I love concept cars. I think they're amazing. Designers, they can put whatever they have in their brain, you know, into molding, into sculpture, and we present it to the public. And if they love it, if they go nuts, we're going to make it. You know, we're going to produce it. Amazing. I love concept vehicles. The problem with concept vehicles is most of them are not developed, or none of them really are, you know. Once you see the concept here today on the showroom floor and they go into production, half of that stuff that was so cool about the concept, they couldn't make it on the real bike because, you know, it needs to be street legal and for Europe and US and all that. So I always get excited to see concept bikes because I like to be creative. I like to make stuff really cool, but sadly most of that stuff, or most of the really cool stuff, never translate to the final product. But here's what we got. It's the Concept F450 GS from BMW. And there's not much about it because it's a concept bike. But still, what I found on the website and other websites, I'm just going to go over it real quick. All right, it uses an all-new parallel twin engine that delivers a claimed 48 horsepower and features the BMW calls the never-before-used ignition offsets. Parallel twin, sweet. Why a parallel twin? Because they're smooth. You know, the old Tompers, like the DRZ, you know, you have a lot of vibration. The parallel twin takes that out. So that's why even a small displacement parallel twin is always a good way to go. 48 horsepower. It's nothing to complain about, you know. If they can keep that and, you know, aftermarket comes in and you throw a tune and a pipe on, you'll probably be looking at 55. Good deal. Nothing to complain about here. Again, 17-inch front and, no, sorry. The 19-inch front and 17-inch rear wheel strike the balance between on and off-road performance. Again, this is more road orientated with these rim sizes. And yeah, you can do off-road with them. It's just not as good as 21 and 18. And you know, if you don't believe me, just look at old dirt bikes. You know, the bikes that are designed really to go off-road, they have the 21s and the 18s in the back, and it's just a better combo. I believe that many manufacturers keep the 19 and the 17 just to keep the bike a little lower so they don't make it super tall. But yeah, it's doable. It's no big deal. So the Concept F450 GS weighs around 386 pounds. Ooh, that's not a lightweight, which is equivalent to the G310 GS and about 100 pounds less than the F900 GS. It doesn't say if it's wet or dry, but you know, we're closing under 400 pounds. That's a heavy pig right there. That's not a little lightweight dirt bike. In terms of electronic features, the Concept uses a 6.5 TFT display, lean angle, sensitive ABS, and configurable rider modes. Of course, it's BMW, and in BMW fashion, we expect nothing else than probably the best products, the best manufacturers, you know, the best quality out there. It's a premium brand motorcycle, it's a premium brand, you know, car. It's a premium brand in everything they do. So I'm pretty sure if this thing hits the market, you know, there's going to be nothing cheap on it. And that's pretty much everything I got from their website. As I said, it's a concept. It's not out yet. There is not much out there. I'd be really curious to see if it comes out. I mean, you guys can see on the pictures, you know, it looks very futuristic, which some people hate, some people love. You know, I'm more a bit of a traditional, more old school type of guy, but I really appreciate a new, bold, in-your-face design. So let's see BMW. Make it happen. We want to see that bike. We want to ride it. We want to review it. We, the people, have spoken. All right, guys. And last but not least, number 5 on my list is the 2024 Aprilia Tuareg Rally. Yes, let's talk about it. Let's see what they did for 2025. All right. The new variation is powered by the same 660cc parallel twin with the standard Touareg. Same motor, nothing has changed. If it's good, if it works, leave it alone. That's always how I think. But for 25, it received a new ECU in combination with a 52mm throttle bodies to replace the previous 48mm unit to comply with the Euro 5 emission standards while keeping power at the previous level of 80 horsepower. All right, so we have a new ECU. You know, they made a bigger intake, a bigger butterfly for it, so they can comply with emission. I'm not exactly sure how that translates for the emission, but you know, they said they needed to make it Euro 5 emission compliable, and that's the way they did it, so why not? Can't be nothing wrong with that. It says the Rally version uses a specific map and grants more aggressive throttle response. The Touareg Rally also receives, hold on guys, a special titanium SC Pro exhaust system. Yes, beautiful, nice. This is a titanium full exhaust, you know, it's going to look amazing, it's going to be lightweight, it's going to perform well. This is good news. Honestly, it's really, really rare that you get such a high performance, high spec exhaust on a bike from factory. That's usually like an option or an aftermarket deal. That they throw that on there, beautiful. That is good stuff. All right, the chassis has been extensively upgraded to make the new Rally version more agile and capable to negotiate the roughest ground possible. 33 mm leather Carrera fork offers 240mm of suspension travel, which is 9.4 inches. With single weight springs to deliver for a firm response and more constant stance compliance and standard model progressive weight springs. So they upgraded suspension, always good. But here comes the problem with an upgraded suspension, right here in the next one. The seat height has gone up by 20mm to 34.6 inches. 20mm is roughly 3/4 of an inch, that you have an idea, which you would think is not much. You know, it's like, oh, you know, it's no big deal. But if you're short and you're already struggling with a tall bike, 3/4 of an inch makes a lot of difference. Take it from me, I'm short. I struggle with that when I get on the Tenere. So Yeah. Also, the handlebar is taller and fitted with new handguards reinforced with a steel band for more effective protection. Also, the engine received a strong aluminum all-sump guard. Okay, taller handlebars, you know, it's for ergonomics. It's probably for the taller people, that's going to work great. Or when you stand up, you know, you don't have to hunch over that much. The taller handlebar keeps you a bit straighter. So thumbs up on that. And handguards reinforced with steel band. Love it. I don't get it why manufacturers put these handguards on that are pure plastic that do nothing, like the T7. You know, that was the first thing I tossed off my bike. I'm like, why is this flimsy stuff on here? What is it supposed to do? You know, it's absolutely useless. It has a steel band in it. That means it's usable. It's going to work when you drop your bike. You don't have to go and spend 100, 150 bucks on aftermarket ones. Beautiful. Love it. And a strong aluminum all-sump guard is always a good deal. You know, you always want protection for your engine, for your oil pan. You don't want to sit on a rock and, you know, piercing through it or something. So yeah, that's pretty good. And here comes probably the most exciting upgrade on it. It says the Rally version is 11 pounds lighter than the standard Tuareg model. 11 pounds, guys. That is a lot of, wow. I'm speechless, you can see. I don't even know what to say. 11 pounds, that's a lot. That's great. I mean, I spent serious money to shave off 11 pounds of my Tenere. I'm going to say probably it's that special titanium exhaust system that they made. You know, that titanium exhaust is very thin-walled, so you can shave off a bunch of weight of that, and that's probably where they got most of that 11 pounds out of it. And again, it says it's down to 439 pounds in running condition. I love this. This is also off their website. 339 pounds in running condition. That means it has oil. That means it got coolant. It means it probably has, I don't know, 1 quart of gas, just enough to fight it up. And I don't get why manufacturers do that. Why don't they just fill up the tank and say, hey, you know, the bike's going to weigh 450 pounds, you know, wet, like full tank, full everything, because then you know what you're getting yourself into. So yeah, in short, Aprilia Tuareg, love it. They did nothing that the bike didn't need. You know, they just made it better, other than some of the other bikes I talked about it. And they made better stuff to it. They made it lighter. I mean, absolutely, you know, for me, in my opinion, they hit the mark all the way around. What do you think about the Tuareg Rally? You think they did great? You think they should add more stuff to it? You think they missed the mark? I want to know from you guys. Tell me in the comments what you think about this. All right, guys, and that's basically in a nutshell what I have for you today. I didn't talk about the Transalp. I looked up the Transport, really nothing new, exciting changed on it. So that's why I not even mention it. But these are I think the 5 interesting bikes, you know, for this year for adventure riders. In a nutshell, a conclusion for myself, from all these 5 bikes, if I was to buy one today, some of you are going to be surprised, I would probably get the Aprilia. And it's the brand that I least care for. I never really cared for Aprilia. I worked on a bunch of their sport bikes, you know, they're not known to be extremely reliable like the Japanese bikes, but for what they did for 25, from all these, that's the one I would personally choose. So let me know, guys, what did you like about this? Which bike would you choose? Why do you agree with me? Why you disagree with me? Let me know. You know, let's just talk. Let's bounce off ideas. I want to hear what you guys want to know. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was a helpful video for you guys. You know, now the drill. You know, if you like this stuff, subscribe, hit the like button, and I catch you guys in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.